Hey guys. Alright. I have been out mowing. It's horrible because I have to open the side gate there beside Molly's stall to go through, and then I mowed. Okay, so that's how this I'll tell you how I did it. Get on the mower, get it started, start mowing. What I mow first is the front yard. Do all the front yard first. Then I come down around my shop and toward that gate that opens there by Molly's stall, and it opens into the big lane, that big lane area that she has. I go through that gate, and when after I fed her this morning, that I had opened one side of the two little gates down there by the chicken coop to go out into the field. So the minute I come up to the gate on my lawnmower, we'll see she took off that direction because she had heard me messing around. Had come up into the lane. I guess she was somewhere out around the goat yard or something. But anyway, she heard me opening gates and stuff. But when she seen me coming on the lawnmower, she took off back out by the pond. Okay, that's fine. So I go down. I mow the lane. Nobody bothers me. I go out. I mow around the back of the chicken coop where those pine trees are. I picked up some sticks and stuff that had fallen out of the pine tree so I wouldn't run over them with my lawnmower, took them to the burn pile. Then I made my way around the feed room, started mowing along the fence line there around the old duck house that was going to be Minky's house when she's out in that yard, but I've already got another idea for her. Anyway, get all mowed out there around the pond a little bit, just on this side, not all the way around the pond, but on this side of the pond. And when I start moving my way back up toward I guess when I was mowing around the feed room, the goats all came, okay? It never entered my mind that both those gates were open. So once they made their way into the lane, I seen them when they were in the lane. I was like, oh my gosh, so I spun her, got around in my lawnmower, turned off the blade so I could just go fast and get around them. And two or three of them ran sort of like toward the chicken yard fence, and I was able to shoot past them down the fence line between mine and Steph's. But three went out. Mary, Pippin, and Gimli went out. And Molly and the other goats ran back. It scared them, and they all went back out toward the field. So I get up here by the lane, and I jump off the mower and run over to get the gate pulled closed, but the goats are starting to move their way up toward the back of the little camper house, which then is going to open into Buddy and Steph's wide open field with a garden. And praise God, Elora was on their patio, so I hollered at her to go get her daddy. So then Buddy come out, and it really would have been funny. I told him at one time, I said, I think I'm going to have a heart attack. They were running me. Then he tried to put, Bilbo. Once Buddy came out there, I had one, he had one, I think. We got him through the gate, pushed the gate back closed, but we didn't latch it because I was still chasing one down. Bilbo comes up with his big hard head and pushes, and it opens just enough that baby girl comes in. She comes in, but then turns really fast and goes up into that side of the old garage, and she was up in there trying to make her way around. I was hollering at Buddy. Then next thing I know, Gimli comes through. Buddy gets back to the gate. It was a fiasco, I can tell y'all. And I was exhausted. In fact, as soon as I got them all back in, actually, we got Gimli and baby girl ended up in the yard because the gate coming on the deck right here at the back of the corner of the house where the deck is. They come through there because it was open, which is fine because they were satisfied trying to get into the feed barrel, but that's where I keep Molly's feed barrel, and they were trying to get into it. So it sidetracked them, so I was able to get that gate closed. So they couldn't come out. They were basically in the yard. Now I'm worried about my plants, but as long as they're messing with the feed trough, they're not messing with plants. Then me and Buddy got that situated over there. Then he went on home. Then I come through the yard, and Gimli went out really fast. Once I picked up a stick, he hightailed his butt out that side gate into the lane. And with that gate closed at the corner by Molly's stall, they can be in the lane where she lives during the nighttime. They can be in the lane, but as long as that gate's closed. And he made it out there, but baby girl, ran into the chicken yard because I had that gate. I've been letting the chickens out. I can't help it. I want them to be able to free range a little bit, and so the big guys, they're clipped, so they're not really flying anywhere. The babies are starting to fly up and hit the fences now and go over. So I'm going to eventually have to catch them one by one and clip a wing. But I want them to be able to free range a little bit. If the whole yard is what they get, then the whole yard is what they get. But anyway, the gate was open, so she ended up in the chicken yard, and I pulled that gate shut. So everybody was out of the way, and no vegetables got eaten, no plants got eaten, praise God. But it was something else. And I was so tired from chasing them down and dragging them by their horns that I jumped in the pool. Levi was in the pool for about 45 minutes while I mowed the front yard, and then when I made my way around to the back, he was still in the pool when I was mowing the lane. But when I got out there by the back pond and made a few laps and then turned around and looked, I'm thinking, I don't see his head bobbling. And I'd gotten him a float to put air in it before he got in the pool. Anyway, he was gone. He wasn't in the pool no more. I ran just in my shorts and t-shirt, not this. I was in another, they're wet on the porch. But I jumped in the pool and cooled off and got a breath, and then got back on the mower and finished mowing everything. So anyway, I just got in the house. Daniel hollered at me. All I did when I came in, since I was already wet from the pool, was pulled on that little sundress. Then he hollered, wanted me to look at what he had. So I went out there, but I had to change my clothes because he wanted me to do something. And y'all will see a video of that, and I probably look ridiculous, but anyway. So I thought, well, I might as well get this video done of the gifts and goodies. So these are the things that have come this week. And something is really, really cute. Let me get up close. It was Mom and Dad. It's a hammer. It says, Kim, you are both to your children. Happy Father's Day 2023. That's really sweet. Really cute. A hammer. And then she sent, her name is Karen. Karen sent that hammer, and she sent this little card. It just says, Happy Father's Day, Kim. And it says, to a wonderful parent who is both mom and dad to her 3 boys. Being one parent to a child can be hard enough, but both, that takes a special person. Happy Father's Day, Kim, from your friend Karen. So, Karen, thank you. That really means a lot to me. It was hard sometimes. It is hard. It is so true. It is hard being a parent. It's not an easy job. And if you're a Christian, then you're trying your best to raise your kids to know Jesus, love Jesus, and do the things that Jesus would want you to do. Live your life for Him. And so, yeah, being one parent is hard enough. Being 2, I gotta get some tea. Being 2 is hard too. It's hard also. Alright, and this came, it's 2 boxes. Now these must be some type of low carb or keto type are either low sugar. Yeah, it's low everything because it says it's a better snack. It came from Amazon, so if Levi likes these out and they're not too expensive, I'll start trying to get him some. But that says from, the brand is Rip Van. Basically, it's an Oreo. They're called Leos. And it says only 3 grams of sugar, 5 net carbs, and 100 calories. So these, I hope these are awesome, and I'm hoping that they taste really good and Levi will really like them. And then headbands. Oh, headbands. Probably look ridiculous right now. Headbands. How do I look? Do I look silly? Well, these are adorable and I love them. I love the sunflowers. So, no, but I'm I think I know who did this, so thank you for this. And then there was this was in my box out there already almost open. Well, I don't know who sent this, but that's awesome. No. No. Ant killer. This is what I use too. I usually get it at Walmart. That's awesome. So I don't know who sent this, but thank you so much. This is exactly what I get at Walmart, and there's 2 bags of them. So that's awesome. When I put my ant killer out, now if I leave my chickens locked up for a day or 2, I'll put this out, then leave them locked up. I won't let them come out. And that way they won't eat it. But usually, even if my chickens are, like before they clip their wings and I was going to put ant poison out, I would do it in the evening when they've already started to get ready to roost or roosting. And then I water it in with the water hose. By the next day, they don't mess with it. I haven't had a problem. But I'm going to tell you what happened one time when Buddy, when I was married to Buddy's dad, we had gotten Buddy some ducks for where Daddy's shop is now, out there, and then behind it is his bees, and then there's the field to the neighbors. There's an old pond over there that used to always keep water in it, and where that house is, where Daddy's shop is now, that was the hillside right there, and that's where I had my very first, even before I built my little house down here, that's where I had my very first little single wide mobile home. It was just me and Buddy's dad and Buddy. And we had a septic put in and everything, and I guess it was Buddy's first Easter, and we got him, I think like 3 or 4 ducks. And I had a little pool in the backyard and everything, and my thought process was, even though that was not our property, I was going to let those ducks live in that pond, because from the backyard, sitting out, we'd be able to watch them always in that pond. And then we knew the people that owned the property, which would not have ever told me, no, your ducks can't be in this pond. So, but there were some ants. The ducks were young. They were still, not baby, still furry yellow, but just getting to where they were just white Pekin ducks, but still young. And he put out, I didn't even know he'd done it. I would have even, maybe would have thought that's not a good idea. But he put out ant poison, and I don't know if it was at a weekend. I guess he was probably a weekend because he was home from work. But anyway, the next morning when I went out, I can't remember if any lived. I honestly don't think any of them lived. I can't remember if they did or not. But I think we found one or maybe two already dead, and then the other two were just sort of like this. And I didn't know what had happened. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what was wrong with them until I think they died too. And at some point I was doing stuff in the yard, and that's when I seen the ant poison on the mounds. And I was like so mad at him and he just didn't think, it really wasn't, I mean, it was his fault, he did it, but he just didn't think about what it would do. So ever since then, I've always known that ant poison will kill a chicken or a duck, or I don't know what else it'll kill, but those are what I worry about, pecking at stuff. And so I've never lost a chicken, even though I put ant poison out, but that's the way I do it. I wait till they're roosted at night, roosting, and then I put the poison out, spray it, soak it down into the ground, in the mound, and I've never had a problem. In fact, not that long ago, I bought one of these bags. It's gone now because I used it. Over there where I took down that old gazebo thing, and it was the frame left, and those old crawdads make those little, those little mountains of mud, clay. And they also mound up sometimes around the wood. Like I had those pieces, some of those 1-bys, 2-bys on the ground stacked. And when I started moving them to use some of them for braces for Molly's stall, I guess it's what I was working on, that's when I noticed them. There were ant beds all around that, and they had mounded up inside that clay that the crawdads had made. Anyway, that's what I did that night. I waited till the chickens went to bed, and then I went out there and sprinkled and sprayed. The next day, chickens went on about their business, and nothing ever died, and those ants were dead. So this is going to come in handy. So whoever sent this, thank you. All right, that's it. So I'm going to get this loaded and out to y'all. And I heard that. I don't know what that was. Big old bang sound. Anyway, y'all have a good weekend. I think school's out. I think the grandbabies came home early today. Today was the last day of school. So that ought to be, I'll probably have a lot of videos with the kids in them. Anyway, I'm going to go. I love you guys. God bless y'all, and I will see you later.